संदीप दीक्षित से मेरा दूर दूर का कोई लेना देना नहीं है और बच्चों की कसम है, ना बीजेपी से गठबंधन करेंगे ना कांग्रेस से गठबंधन।
Arvind Kejriwal and the members of his Aam Aadmi Party or AAP has created big splash in Indian political scene. An unknown young man without any political background all of a sudden started to make the headlines in major Indian media. Do you think he has the ability to do the type of activities he and his colleagues are involved in? Or he is simply playing a role in this drama as the script is written by some big players to destabilize India? Are you prepared to know the truth? It is a story that might give you a shock of your life. Our story starts in Washington, D.C., July 19, 2011. Two people of Pakistani origin were arrested in Washington, D.C. U.S. Justice Department website reveals this. Ghulam Nabi Fai. New York Times reported that Ghulam Nabi Fai was an agent of the Pakistani spy agency, the Inter-Service Intelligence or ISI. He closely worked with a key figure in this nexus, Angana Chatterjee, a US resident. On December 16, 2011, Angana and her husband Richard Shapiro were sacked by their employer, California Institute of Integral Studies, CIIS, for their subversive activities. And authorities have banned Richard's India entry for anti-Indian activities. Angana works closely with her anti-national friends in India like Arundhati Suzanne Roy, they have co-authored a book on Kashmir. They are working with three leading international anti-India groups simultaneously: Pakistan's ISI, Indian American Muslim Council IAMC, and the PROXA, Progressive South Asians. PROXA is an umbrella group which has more than 300 ultra-communist activists around the world with more than 20 outfits in various names. In 1967, with the active involvement of Chinese Government Communist Party of India, Marxist-Leninist was formed in Bengal and other states commonly known as the Naxal movement. Hundreds of college students and young farms laborers joined the movement with the hope of bringing a revolution which was never successful. However, many of these people went to America and other countries and tried to continue their subversive activities. PROXA and their sister groups, FOIL and AID, was started by them. The most prominent face of these people is the Federation of Inqilabi Leftists, FOIL. It was formerly known as Federation of Indian Leftists. FOIL's mission has been, according to them, a clearinghouse for radical Indian activists in United States, Canada and England to help build projects that make their radical politics more material. Vijay Prashad is the key founder of FOIL Group. He advocates that modern Hinduism is nothing but fascism and racism. What we hear in media and used by politicians today about fascism has come from these people. It is to be noted that they all talk on same line that BJP or any Hindu organization is fascist. And the root of such anti-national ideas come from Marxist historians like Romila Thapar. Biju Matthew, another co-founder, has close ties with various evangelical Christian missionaries and pro-Dalit groups who have established in India an enormous religious conversion plan, and the strategy is to convert millions of people especially the so-called Dalits and tribal people. Vinay Lal runs a blog called Lal Salam. His and these groups' sympathy for radical Islam is very clear. Second important organization of this umbrella group in this nexus is Association for India's Development, AID. AID has become direct legal channel for communists and their sympathizers to raise funds abroad. AID is doing fundraising for Arvind Kejriwal and sent volunteers to campaign during Delhi election. Now you understand why we need to introduce few prominent people outside of India who are connected to Aam Aadmi Party key members, Pakistan and ISI, ultra-communists, anti-India Dalit separatists and Christian evangelists. Council on American Islamic Relations or CAIR is known for the extreme views of its leaders. Angana, a sympathizer of Kaya, and her associates wrote a letter to the UN Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights highlighting the humanitarian crisis in Jammu and Kashmir and blamed the Indian government for alleged human rights violations. A member of Kaya, also a member of the Lashkar-e-Toiba, has been jailed for illegally acquiring firearms in order to train for terrorist missions against India in Kashmir. Kaya works closely with the communist groups and they believe the Quran should be the highest authority in America and Islam the only accepted religion on earth. AID, which funds Aam Aadmi Party, co-sponsored an event with Kaya. Now you see why some key leaders in AAP like Prashant Bhushan supports Kashmiri separatism and the armed Naxalite ultra-communists and Dalit separatists in India. Dr. Sugato Bose, professor of modern South Asian history at Harvard and grandnephew of legendary Indian freedom leader Netaji Subhash Chandra. He is also connected to this circle we have been discussing. Professor Aisha Jalal, a Pakistani national who closely worked with Sugato Bose at Tufts University in Boston. They believe that Aurangzeb, the most cruel and fanatic of all Muslim kings in India, was the best ruler. They are clearly Islamist sympathizers. Both Aisha and Sugato, along with the people like Angana, has spoken at many events mostly supporting pro-Pakistani Kashmiri separatism. Indian American Muslim Council or IAMC is basically a front organization working for Islamist groups in Pakistan, India and America. If you look at their website, you will feel that the sole purpose of the group is to discredit Indian government's secular standing, safeguarding banned radical terrorist Muslim groups in India such as Simi, and to do propaganda work against Gujarat government. IAMC and other related Muslim groups sponsor Indian activists such as Harsh Mandar, an AAP key member who rose to fame following the 2002 Gujarat riots. Harsh Dobhal, the managing editor of Combat Law, a bi-monthly Maoist publication that supports the philosophy of the violent and terrorist Naxal movement in India. As it's a well-known fact now, the Maoists, with the help of ISI, have been attempting to establish links with Naxalite groups such as the PWG, People's War Group, and the MCC, Maoist Communist Center, by using the Siliguri corridor in West Bengal. Such lethal partnership is seriously undermining the internal security of India. Dobhal, is also the Secretariat at the Independent People's Tribunal (IPT). In 2010, he published a report titled Report of Independent People's Tribunal on Human Rights Violations in Kashmir. The Human Rights Law Network follows a similar approach in exposing the violent abuse of minorities by Hindus and the Indian state as the various church-supported Dalit and leftist or communist organizations discussed throughout the report. In fact, some of the donors and partners of Human Rights Law Network include Evangelische Entwicklungsdienst, EED, Christian Aid, Church Auxiliary for Social Action, Dan Church Aid, etc., along with the several European government agencies. IAMC regularly invites Biju Matthew, Raju Rajgopal, John Prabhudas of Federation of Indian American Christian Group, Liz McKean, and many others. They work with the people like Father Cedric Prakash, a Jesuit priest and a popular face within various circles that routinely hold India guilty of oppression of Christians, Muslims, and Dalits. Sabrang Communications is a Mumbai, India-based organization run by Teesta Setalvad and her husband Javed Anand, along with a magazine called Communalism Combat. In 1999, Setalvad's Communalism Combat accepted about 1.5 crores rupees from political parties such as the Congress, CPI, CPM, and about 10 prominent individuals to run a series of massive ad campaigns against the BJP and labeling them as Hindu fanatics, that they are highly biased against women. Recently, she has admitted spending organization's funds for her personal purposes. Now, let us find out how through some award culture members of these umbrella groups recognize and work with each other. International Award for Religious Harmony was established in 2000 by the International Council of Evangelical Churches in memory of Australian missionary Graham Staines. This award was given to John Dayal, a known Christian activist who routinely demonizes Hindus and Hinduism. He is also the Secretary General of the All India Christian Council AICC, which also works with noted anti-national organizations like the Dalit Freedom Network. In 2003, Setalvad, along with the Admiral L. Ramadas, received this award as well. Angana Chatterjee and Biju Matthew was awarded the Tipu Sultan Award for courageously serving India and India's interests. Kaleem Khwaja, a key ideologue of the Association of Indian Muslim of America (AIM), who wrote his infamous article in Milli Gazette, "Brother, Can You Spare a Tear for Taliban?", also received the Tipu Sultan Award. Raju Rajgopal was given the Bahadur Shah Zafar Award for promoting pluralism and communal harmony in India. The Magsaysay Award. Aruna Roy received this award in the year 2000. Kejriwal got this award in 2006. A declassified US Central Intelligence Agency CIA secret document clearly shows the link between CIA and Rockefeller Foundation, Ford Foundation, and Magsaysay Award. Even in the citation of Kejriwal for the Magsaysay Award, the first reference was made to CIA. The document clearly shows that how so-called intellectuals, professors, and students of target countries are financially enticed by the Western forces using prestigious organizations like the Ford Foundation. Arvind Kejriwal and many other AAP associates were getting funds from these Western sources since 2002. Under the banner of Parivartan, Kejriwal received funds from World Bank for a Jan Sunwai campaign, even as the organization was not registered. Though it was a criminal act, authorities looked the other way. Or was there a connection with the ruling class? This funding nearly coincides with the period of Kejriwal's resigning from service not accepted in 2006, and Ford Foundation funding and grant of Magsaysay Award. In fact, Kejriwal got the Magsaysay Award shortly after he featured in the World Bank report in 2005. The biggest fraud is that the donors, that is, organizations that funded Kejriwal's so-called NGOs, were the decision makers in the award of his Magsaysay Award. This includes the CIA. Further, the representative of Ford Foundation on India, Stephen Solnick, admitted on 31st August 2012 that the Magsaysay Award for Kejriwal was funded by them. So, now we can have a quick look at the network that work hand in hand against India on issues connected to Kashmiri separatism, Naxal insurgencies, and also the Gujarat riots. Now you can see clear connections between Islamists, Kashmiri separatists, ultra-communists, Christian evangelists, and Western forces. Pakistan, ISI, Kashmir separatism, Angana Chatterjee, Federation of Indian Leftists, AID, IAMC, Kaya, Harsh Mandhar, Medha Patkar, Thista Satalwad, Arundhati, Cedric Prakash, Vinayak Sen, Naxals. Basically a global confederation of anti-India forces. The connections are more obvious when one finds that all these people have something to do with the Gujarat riots in 2002, and their incessant propaganda has projected a very bad image of India in the world. It may not be too far-fetched to think that some of these people, including Angana Chatterjee, works for ISI. You may now guess who worked with some US government establishment to deny visa to Mr. Narendra Modi.